A beautiful day in the Texas state capital city of Austin. Best players in the world have taken over and have gathered here for week number 4 of the 2024 AVP League. We are at the HEB Center just north of Austin, and just moments ago the players ran into the court. The LA launch is Bessie Flint, Julius Scholes, Tim Bomgren, and Troy Field. They are pumped, they are ready to go. On the other side, it's the Palm Beach Passion. Melissa Humana Paredes, Brandy Wilkerson, the silver medalist from 2024, Avery Drost, and the Thin Beast. That is 4-time Olympian and 2008 gold medalist Phil Dalhausser. As we take a look at the standings, the New York Nitro at 7-1. The Austin Aces starting to climb back. The LA Launch still under 500 at 3-4. So it has been a battle here this weekend at the HEB Center. Welcome to our broadcast position. I'm Dane Bland alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn, and Phil Dalhausser, the most decorated player on the court right there, has yet to get a victory in the AVP League. He told you a little bit about that, how he wants to turn the tables.
Yeah, he said that was very important for them, obviously. His ladies bounced back from a disappointing night for the Palm Beach Passion as a whole last night, but they had a convincing win in our opening match here. The men would like to follow up and do just that. Phil and Avery looking for their first win.
Yeah, a tough loss. That was 2018, I believe, for Phil and Avery in last night's match. So they'll be looking to turn things around. Let's meet the players. Let's head down to the sand to Mark Sherman.
Let's do it, everybody. It is time to meet the teams. First up for the LA Launch, I see one of the players down there. You know what? We're just going to see what happens. First up, wearing the number 1, everybody, out of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. Let me hear it for Tim Bomgren.
All right, guys. Brody Bellin Brooks, let's go.
He likes the launch signs, yes. And his partner, the second part of TNT, as we draw out this introduction. There he is. The hat goes the right way, flips it up, ladies and gentlemen, out of sunny Southern California in Dana Point, the man with the biggest personality on tour. He is Troy Field. Oh, hey, everybody, it's the real Troy Field. And their opponents, the Palm Beach Passion. First up, wearing the number 1, the defender out of Westmont College. Everybody, let me hear it for Avery.
Love you, Blake. I love you, Micah. I love you, Jen.
And his partner, been in the game for a couple of decades. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Olympic gold medalist out of UCF. He is Phil Dalhausser.
Phil Dalhausser, 44 years of age, playing still a very high level. He would love to get in the winners column here on the AVP League. And what better time to do it as we look at the competition format. It's best of 3 sets. All sets are to 15 points and you must win by 2. Each team gets 1 timeout per set. The season standings based on, of course, your win percentage. We are ready to go. Tim Bomgren back to serve. And he's going to scoop that ball up for an opportunity to score the first point for the LA Launch.
Yeah, LA looking to make a statement back against the Palm Beach Passion. Brandy and Mel for the Palm Beach Passion really putting on a display in the women's version of this showdown.
Well, jump float by Bomgren. Going over to Drost, and that ball is just out of bounds, a little too aggressive on going down the line. I think it was the right call. Did you see it, Rich?
I didn't see if it hit the sideline or not. There seems to be a little bit of difference of opinion going on down there, but the call was out. That's Avery was so good offensively last night. Just had a couple hiccups late that were kind of critical. It's always the game of how do you bounce back, right?
Bomgren again. That ball goes over the net for Phil to get an opportunity. That ball out of bounds, hits the top of the net. So a solid start for the LA Launch as Tim Bomgren continues to serve.
Yeah, kind of as slowly as the LA Launch ladies started, the men getting out hot here.
Bomgren out of Woodbury, Minnesota. Gets an ace right there. Bomgren only, you know, he's listed at 6'4". I thought he was a little shorter than that. He's just, I guess, proportionate.
Yeah, he's one of those just perfectly crafted athletes, I think. Everything just looks in proportion. He's got such great hand-eye coordination, just such great mobility, and he's really putting on a serving display right now, mixing it up pretty well.
Yeah, that's the way you want to start. You get up 4-0, you start to feel a lot more comfortable out there. Now make it 4-1. Avery Drost last night had really a spectacular match for 90% of the match, and then a couple of errors started to creep in. They lost that match 20-18 in the third. So looking to kind of turn things around for the Palm Beach Passion.
And one of the things Phil told us for him, you know, he's been at this craft so long, it's just like riding a bike. You know, he can kind of shake off those things a little bit easier because he's got so much experience. A little bit tougher for maybe his partner.
That would have been an incredible scoop. But yeah, back to Phil and them losing 2018 to the Austin Aces. Lottman and Billy Allen just played really well. And there's really no weak team. All the teams can play at the highest level at any time, so you can't take anyone for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had the Heritage Series that kind of determined who was participating in this 8-team league. So it is the best of the best out there, no weak spots.
Right there, a quick jump serve. Phil didn't really give himself enough time to get to the net, and what a great counterattack by going on two.
Yeah, the first contact control from Timmy Bomgren so critical in that play.
This time with a short serve. There's the option. What a great lift up by Drost.
Yeah, again, that great first contact, and Phil letting everyone know that anything you can do, I can probably do better.
It's almost always true with Phil Dalhausser.
Yeah, I would be hard-pressed to think of an example where that's not true, Dane.
Here comes Avery Drost. What a save. Thrown back by Big Phil at the net. Takes a look, snaps it down, but Drost is getting a hand on it. When sometimes you don't make a dig, but still there's value to it because the offensive player is like, wow, you were there.
Yeah, it sometimes gets in the psyche of an offensive player, and they think, man, if he's touching that, I've got to maybe carve off a little more angle. Sometimes that can bleed into some mistakes.
Block right there by Troy Field, and better be careful there. Phil Dalhausser into the referee stand, but cannot save it. The LA Launch up 7-3.
That was a really good cover and good pursuit from Avery. They just can't quite get the touch they were looking for, and it's a great start from LA Launch, Troy Field, Tim Bomgren, everything rolling their way right now.
Bomgren thought he was going to listen to the crowd.
Go on, Tim. Line. Come on, Phil.
How about that? Putting it right in the corner.
Precision execution. Timmy Bomgren, a little fall away. Slap down the line.
Troy Field goes back to serve. Interesting, Field and Dalhausser were partners for one event in 2023, the AVP season opener in Miami, and they won their first 3 matches, but then were ousted
Come on,
in the semifinals by Buttinger and Evans, 21-17, 21-14. So That's interesting. Whenever you play with Phil, and Phil's played with a lot of players, the pressure is on for you to win the tournament.
Well, absolutely, because for a little bit there, he was kind of going on this get people a couple extra victories tour. He played with Casey Patterson, won an event, played with Andy Benish.
Yep.
They won. And so you almost felt like Phil's just dragging me into the winner's circle. Unfortunately for Troy, that wasn't the case there.
Bet he would like to have that opportunity again, as would many players. Here comes Phil. Doesn't get to the net in time, and that ball out of bounds.
Yeah, I like what he did there, though. He recognizes that he's not going to make it all the way to the net, so he just kind of holds his ground, gets ready to play some defense if the ball comes his way.
Yeah, I think that was smart. A few plays earlier when he was jumping, he was kind of in no man's land. Got to either get to that net or stop early. You'll see he'll whip the jump serve, run to the net as fast as he can. This time, he's got that time. Big, heavy hit by Drost on the right side.
Yeah, I really like that Avery maintains his aggressive approach. Great pickup, good control, gets the perfect set, and then just stays aggressive, particularly in transition.
Phil will continue to serve, trailing by 3. Great serve over to Troy Field. Bomgren's got it, but he's not going to be able to make a play on it. So the Palm Beach Passion looking to get themselves right back in the mix. 4-0 run right now for the Passion.
Yeah, we've talked a lot over the years, Dane, about Sunday Phil. Sundays Phil just seems to have a little something extra in the tank, put on a show when things get important, and maybe we're getting a little glimpse of it right here.
Let's head down to the third member of our team. That's Casey Patterson.
Girls are on fire right now, cheering their guys on. It gets a little bit quiet in between the serve, right, and then the play. There's some people screaming for their team.
Yeah, who was that? I don't know. Brandy? Yeah, I just gotta cheer boys on. You know, that's when they can hear me the most. Is when it's complete silence. Yeah.
Plus, right after a big win, you're always like a little chirpy. You're like, hey, what's going on? Who's that over there, right? Yeah. So just keep sending the vibes. Anything, any secrets you could tell the boys? Anything that you want to give them, if you could, if you're in the coach's box right now.
Do you have anything you've been? The service pressure. The service pressure is great by Phil. We got to keep that going and just play loosey-goosey. We're here to have some fun, right?
Yes, exactly. Have some fun. Maybe get Phil angry. He plays really good when he gets fired up. We'll figure that out. Yeah, we're going to figure it out.
Humana Paredes having some fun.
Yeah. Well, when you have a dominating victory, like Casey said, you get a little chirpy, loosey-goosey, she told us.
As the Palm Beach Passion come out to play, Phil Dalhausser, Austin's kind of a special place. He's played well here. He had his first win back in 2005 with Nick Lucena. And then he went on to win here in 2017, 18, 2022. So he's definitely accustomed to being victorious. He cannot show up in Austin and go home without a victory.
Yeah, Timmy Bomgren had a great run here filling in. Jake Gibb broke a toe. Tim Bomgren jumped in, played with T. Krabs. They rolled all the way to the final against Phil and Nick, ultimately losing that match. But Tim played with a heavily sprained ankle. Just taped it up, swung it hard, did what he does out there. But Troy doing what he does at the net.
Troy kind of showing that he's going to take angle. I think that was like a 3 block. In the last second, he jumps into the line. There's just nowhere to go.
Yeah. That's just a good left hand there, Troy. I mean, and look at the elevation from the kid. He really gets out of the sand.
Another shot for Avery. This one's thrown back by Troy.
Come on, Tim.
Troy Field. The ball is ruled on top of the net. If any part of the ball is on that net plane extended, even if it's 1% and 99% is on the other side, it's still fair game. That's what he's trying to explain.
as a player, you feel like the ball that's going to come over if it remains untouched should be yours, but Troy picks it off before that happens. You mentioned only a sliver has to be on top, right? It has to be really an egregious violation, I feel like, for that to ever get called over.
Absolutely. And Troy showing his athleticism there, sacrificing the body with the left and making the play. It's 12-7. LA Launch with the lead. Continue to target Drost. This roll shot is scooped up by Bomgren. The set a little far off the net. And there's a decent set in the middle of the court. Good enough for Big Phil to crush it angle.
Not surprising, Phil scooping in the backcourt. I mean, the guy can do it all. It's really astounding.
Troy Field's got to take more of a risk, I believe, when Bomgren makes that dig, put that ball closer to the net.
I agree. That's a big point scoring opportunity. They still have a 4-point lead, so.
Avery Drost goes cross court over to Bomgren. Beautiful set by Field, and that ball's off the top of the hands of Phil.
A good high swing from Tim on the right side.
Troy Field will continue to serve. 6'4", out of Laguna Beach, California, 30 years of age. Whip cross court right there by Drost.
Yeah, I think he's got to stay in kind of that mode right there. We saw him be real aggressive, hit a lot of heavy heat last night. And I feel like right now in this first set anyways, a lot of the line shots he's gone with, Timmy Bomgren's run him down. Almost all of them, it feels like.
A lot of times he hits in the same plane of where he's facing, and that sometimes can be a giveaway for a smart defender.
Right.
Here's Field. He misses that one off the top of his fingertips right there and out of bounds. So make it 13-10. The Passion trying to close the gap here in this first set.
You mentioned how some players, just have a different sound to their hits. A mishit has a distinct sound as well, doesn't it? We could hear it all the way up in our box. That thing just off the fingertips.
Never feels good when you miscontact that ball. Phil, the 2008 Olympic gold medalist with his former partner Todd Rogers. Just like that, the LA Launch are at 14-10.
I love that play there. Troy just controlling. Phil kind of gave himself a low toss, did a nice job to keep it in, but that easier serve, Troy controls perfectly, and really they capitalize on that option.
Set point. And a bomb cross court by Phil, pushing his team to 11. The Launch will have set point number 2. This time, though, they'll be receiving serve. Will they continue to go to Tim Bomgren? No, they go cross court to Field. Field with a little option back set there, trying to be a little tricky. Didn't fool Phil at all.
Well, it's interesting because Troy tries to run tempo, but he jumps so high, as you can see there on that replay, that it almost gives the blocker time to catch up. And Phil does a nice job. Yeah, very little, if anything, he hasn't seen in the game of beach volleyball, so not fooled.
Set point number 3. And high atop and over the block. Troy Field makes it happen. Playing very comfortable there. When you get a lead like that, just kind of relax and you can smooth shot to finish it.
Well, I was impressed with the LA Launch's consistency in that one, right? They got out to that great lead. Little pushback from the Palm Beach Passion kind of midway through, but the LA Launch responded almost immediately and stretched that lead out again. There again at the end of the set, a couple extra good plays from the Palm Beach Passion to make it close, but they just kind of stayed on task, the Launch, and closed it out.
Big Phil trying to turn the tables, but it's all LA Launch. Tim Bomgren, Troy Field victorious. AVP League is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP.
How about a little magic, huh?
Fans having a good time. What's this called? The donkey race? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought we had some alliterative title for it, but it is a horse race of some.
Love it.
I think they said asses on asses. I don't think that's very nice, but.
Well, yesterday the LA launch successful. They're trying to make it 2-0. Yesterday they took down the Brooklyn Blaze. That was Cody Caldwell and Sean Cook. But it was all the LA launch. Athleticism all over the court. This one was exciting.
It was exciting indeed because you had two of the best entertainers in our sport in Sean Cook and Troy Field hugging it out there. Sportsmanship and a lot of entertainment on display, and so also some great volleyball, of course. The LA launch coming out on top of a tight one.
And I know you were pushing for the battle of the stash. Maybe Sean Cook has to shave his mustache.
Well, see, that's kind of the good news for the launch, is that Betsy Flint said if her guys lose, she feels like Troy should have to shave the mustache. So he came out victorious, mustache in place. We'll have to see if that's true for Cody today.
About even, 375, 385 respectively for the launch and the Palm Beach Passion. Just one service error for the Passion, no errors for the LA launch as we get set here. Set number 2. Launch winning the first set, 15-12. Jumbo to the corner. Avery Drost took off just slightly too early.
Yeah, that was so well disguised from Tim Bomgren as well, though. You know, gets Avery just leaning towards that line. Everything looks the same that Tim hits, right? He can really wrap it over the top and kind of throw it to the corner from that same arm position.
Drost trying to overpower, and look at the save by Field. This time Bomgren is at the net, and Phil knew it. He went at him.
Yeah, I mean, Timmy's spent a lot of time as a blocker, so he's very competent up there, but Phil really putting an exclamation on this point after a tremendous play from Troy Field just to keep it alive. Yeah, that angle was something special from the thin beast.
I mean, what was that, 8 feet from the net, maybe?
Maybe. I can't even comprehend those kind of angles, Dave.
That was impressive. The 6'9" thin beast, Phil Dalhausser. Got leaps as well. That ball's too tight. You cannot do that when Phil is up at the net. He will make you pay for it every single time.
Yeah, it's a really nice attempt from Tim to try and just kind of almost underhand it into the block and recycle it, but just Phil too much hand on that as the blocker at the net.
You don't want Phil to get hot. He's got 2 blocks. Looking for more. They've been running this quick offense trying to thwart the fact that Phil has to run all the way up to the net. It's been effective.
Yeah, I mean, it's effective for sure. Not an easy thing to do if Phil's in a good serving rhythm, because it's not like those are free balls he's spinning at you.
No, you got to control it, and I've been impressed with how they've brought it down, made their offense a little quicker, even when that thing's coming hot from Phil. There's a bit of a shank, a save, and a stuffed block, and the walk-off by Troy Field with a little flex down.
That was one of those like momentum metronomes where, you know, it was a great serve, looked like a shank, advantage LA launch, and then it just sits off the top of the tape, perfect position. Phil puts up a great set, but Troy shutting it down right there in the angle. And a little implied flex.
Nasty.
Snarl?
Yeah, Troy second in the league in blocks behind Theo Brunner. He's got 2 blocks already this match, so his blocking has really come a long way. It really has.
I've been really impressed with Troy all year, for that matter. He's really elevated his game. Like you said, the blocking, if we're talking about skills particularly, has really grown leaps and bounds. But I like his decision making. Sometimes he'd get a little too involved in the theatrics, not make the smart play, but he makes the smart play more often than not out there now, which I really like. Such a talented player.
Drost needs to put this away, and he does. Tooling the block out of bounds. A spectacular dig by Avery Drost.
Yeah, the layout one-arm spear, and again, I like that he's kind of undeterred by getting blocked a few times, stays aggressive there in transition, gets paid off going high and hard into the block.
It's really the only way. You know, you just got to keep bringing it. If you take that foot off that gas, then with players of the caliber that are out there, they're just going to eat you up.
Yeah, just, I mean, from a statistical standpoint, so to speak, the number of things that a blocker has to do right to get a kill block against you, especially in transition when the block isn't set up perfectly all the time, it's just such a difficult thing to accomplish, whereas if you roll shots in there, people have time to recover and so forth. So I just like that mindset and that approach.
Inside out, missed that one by about a foot, it looked like. I don't know what the referees called there.
Oh.
I know, wow. I looked at him and it's still gonna be a touch though, okay?
Well, they're calling a touch on the block, and Phil,
wow,
I believe, was saying he was nowhere near that ball. Hopefully we can get a look at it.
This is one of those things too that's interesting. Unfortunately, it's not going to get overturned because basically it never is. But this is not an instance where a guy like Troy Field is going to argue. Yeah, have a look. Wow.
It's hard to tell there if it might have been a micro touch, but tough one.
Yeah, I don't think Troy's arguing if he knows he touched that ball, certainly to that extent, right? I mean, he's quick with the no touch, and that thing was well long.
There's Phil. That's what he's been looking for. Dialing up the ace, middle to middle. That's his signature serve.
Yeah, and now Timmy and Troy need to get back on task here. They can't let Phil run away with this, right? Because he is that seasoned competitor, right? He kind of smells blood in the water, so to speak.
4-1 run for the Palm Beach Passion. This pass is nice, and Phil doesn't have time to get there in time. Bomgren putting it to the sand quick. So they stop the run, trailing by 1.
Come on, touch.
Drost inside out. It's tough, it's risky because he goes on that kind of side of the ball, and if you're not perfect, that ball can end up out of bounds a couple inches.
Yeah, and we've seen Troy touch a lot of those, right? Troy's got that great elevation, so you've got to wrap it so high to get over him.
Come on, Phil.
Here comes Avery Drost. And that one about 5 feet long. As the Passion, just with a 1-point edge. Pressure's more on the Passion. They have to win this second set if they're going to force a third set. We're about at the halfway point. Here comes Drost.
Does find some sideline.
Avery Drost.
I love our sound effects. Yeah, that's a really good swing from Avery. Launch doing a nice job staying in it, but I think, you know, right now is the time where they need to buckle down. They responded well to everything that the Passion threw at them in set number 1. That controversial call that went against them, however, feels like it's just still lingering in the air on their side of the net, just a touch.
Phil going to try to get to the net quickly here. Oh, what a serve down the line. Phil Dalhausser with the ace. He kind of baits you to the middle of the court, and then when he sees you start cheating, he makes you pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the great servers do, right? He gives you kind of that same look. I would love for us to put together one of those graphics that they do with pitchers, where, you know, it all comes out of the middle there, and, you know, one goes this way, one goes that way, and you can't tell which is coming at you.
2 aces so far for Phil. Looking to get more here. Nice pass by Field. And Field absolutely put in the phone booth right there. Nowhere to go. 3 blocks for Phil Dalhausser.
Sunday Phil rearing his head right into Troy Field's head.
Sunday Phil, kind of like Sunday Tiger.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. Lighter shade of red on Phil.
8-3 run for the Palm Beach Passion as they're up 10-6 here, second set. Will he challenge Phil? No. That was a great play.
That was a tremendous play. That's the line that Troy Field toes, though, at times, right? You know, kind of the magical, the entertaining shot versus the smart one. This is both, and tremendous execution, but it is very risky.
A reverse layup there, contorting himself in the air. It's Field, and this time it's Drost putting it away, making it 11-7. The Palm Beach Passion seem to be in control here in the second set.
You know, on the back of some tremendous serving, Phil Dalhausser. LA Launch going a little split blocking that time, seeing if they can't mix it up.
Yes. Okay.
Here comes Drost, 11-7, trying to get to 15 so they can push it to a third set. And that ball's out of bounds. Really smart eye there by Drost, letting that ball go.
It was very magnanimous of you, Dane. I think he had no choice but to just watch and pray on that one. But
he wasn't there?
We'll give him, he was close.
He was close.
He was in the area code.
Tim Bomgren into the bottom of the net, and that'll get the Passion to their 12th point. How much longer do you think Phil will play? He's no longer playing international competition, but he is playing domestically.
Well, you know what? I know that he's loving this format where he's got 1 match a day over the course of a weekend. Great swing from Troy Field up the line there. He said this may extend his career several years if he's just got to show up for 2 matches a weekend.
So true. A lot less on the body.
And I heard you talking about maybe making a comeback yourself. Is that, did I mishear that?
That is definitely rumor.
We're looking into it right now. It's fake news.
But you're right. I think this format is something special. The fans love it. You know, it's concise. It's over about a 3-4 hour period. You can see 4 matches. The players love it because they can focus on that 1 match that they have and really game plan for that. And so, really well received, especially here in Austin. What a set by Bomgren and a put away. That was impressive.
Start to finish, that was astounding, Dane. The pass getting tight. Watch this set. That is unbelievable. And then how you come up with that angle around Phil.
Wow. You know, we saw Tim Bomgren attempt that last night, and it was too close to the net.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able, I think he got called for it. But just almost the audacity to try that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of players that can pull off that set. Kudos
Takes
to
tremendous wrist mobility to get him upside down like that.
Tim Bomgren is that athlete, though. We are at set point for the Palm Beach Passion. They win this, they push it to a third set, and we may have a battle on our hand. Here comes Phil, looking for yet another ace. Tough serve. Handled well, and Drost is there, but he goes over. What is happening out there?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Everyone is
kind of halfway playing. Their hands are kind of up in the air. A little confusion on the face of Drost.
There was a little bit of rumbling and grumbling in the crowd as that thing kicked off, that play kicked off. But
The crowd was saying something I didn't.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That was just random stuff.
No, you didn't say anything. Okay.
Listen, a child was trying to steal a volleyball.
Yeah, I think the players were reacting to some of the noise they could hear in the crowd at the start of that play.
Yeah, I think that they thought it was coming from the line judge, but it was coming from the crowd. That's why you got to always play to the whistle.
That's right.
And there is the side out right there.
And that one was wide, I think, so yeah. Creeping a little bit closer. Not out of it just yet. The launch.
I believe the Passion are going to call a timeout. They had a 10-14 lead looking at set point, but unable to finish things up. Let's go down to Casey Patterson.
Hi guys, down here with Billy Allen. Phil just went on a gnarly run, couple of stuff blocks, couple aces. You could see the passion in his celebrations. As someone who also celebrates very similar to Phil, can you tell me what goes through your mind when you just make big plays like that?
I mean, I get more fired up if my partner makes big plays. Like if you can see if Paul makes a block, I get pretty hyped. If it's me, it's more just relief. If I side out or something. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't blow that. Okay, perfect. I love it. So, format so far, what do you think of this? You're the home team, you know what I mean? The great match last night was insane. So fun to watch. What are you feeling so far as we're down here in Austin and the whole vibe?
Oh, so excited. I think we did like a meet and greet before, which helped at least relate to the fans that were the home team. And then they were really behind us last night, which was awesome. So,
I love it. Yeah, it was rad. Great crowd in Austin. So hopefully stay on Austin's team because this squad's sick. This crowd is amazing. So yeah, we're fired up.
The hometown Austin Aces, no question, the crowd showing out. This is one of the best attended events as the momentum continues to grow each week. And you know, Austin's got a lot of history with having and hosting AVP events. There's so many clubs here, so many youth players that are in the pipeline coming out of Austin. It's awesome to see the turnout.
It's a big volleyball town. You got back-to-back national champions in the University of Texas women's indoor team as well here in town.
Come on, Troy, come on, come on!
Yeah, so true with Jared Elliott at the helm there, just starting a beach volleyball program at UT as well. So, I mean, Austin is blowing up.
Yeah, they really come out and support this sport. It's been a great stop for years and years and years, and certainly it's a wonderful league stop, and they supported their aces in full force last night.
The Passion trying to seal things up and push a third set. They're going to have to win the second when we come back.
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now.
We're in Austin,
Dallas, Texas.
for San Diego.
Get involved and have a reaction out here.
We are back, getting ready for the third set. Is that like the champion of the donkey right there? They have some amazing stuff going on center court during commercial breaks. Fans really engaged here, trying to take home any title you can get, whether it's musical chairs, spin. What's the one with the bat?
The dizzy bat, yeah.
Dizzy bat. No thanks. On the dizzy bat.
Even when you don't do that correctly, like you're supposed to spin around the bat, not spin with the bat attached to your forehead, unicorn style. But my favorite new one is that pony race. It's really, I don't know how people's quads survive just squatting and hopping that low.
Next week, we'll be at the Delray Beach Tennis Center. That's in Palm Beach, Florida. The New York Nitro will take on the Miami Mayhem, as well will the Brooklyn Blaze take on the home squad, the Palm Beach Passion. They'll be coming out to see Big Phil Dalhausser on his home court with the Palm Beach Passion. We're all set and ready to go for set number 3. The Passion have opted to receive serve. Drost shows line early, and Bomgren was already hitting that ball when he got to it.
Yeah, that was interesting. I feel like there was maybe just a touch of indecision there or something. He was so there, and then it was close to the line. I think he maybe thought about letting it go. Just kind of fumbled the contact ever so slightly.
Jump float by Drost. That pass way off the net could prove difficult, but the kind of reverse pokey that time, Troy Field really liking that area of the court.
Yeah, that's a nice sort of improv there from Troy. It looked like he got caught a little bit around the ankles when he tried to jump. Yeah, that's a good hitting percentage. 520 for the Palm Beach Passion. Oh, a little good fortune as well.
Things have just been going the way of the Passion. Here winning the second set and kind of bringing that momentum here to the third set.
Yeah, the launch were very, very good in the first set. They had kind of that controversial call they thought was a no touch, got called as a touch against them, and that kind of reignited the passion, so to speak, in that second set.
Phil whipping this one cross court, and that looked like it was in. Overruled. The line judge actually called it out, but the head referee had much better angle.
And they have a little conversation with the lines official, because that clearly hit rope. That was tremendous. So now Phil's gotten an ace up the middle. He's got one down the right sideline and now down the left sideline as well.
Those are the 3 spots that he loves with that serve out of the middle court. Look at the overhand dig by Phil, and Drost unable to negotiate it out of that net. I think he thought it was going to hit the net.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those in-between things where you can't really run up there too quickly and have it hit in the net and then you're past it, right? You just got to hope that it sits in the bottom of the net. Phil doing a nice job again of cutting his run up to the net short when he realizes he's not going to get there. Almost makes the play.
Drost right out of the middle of the court, and it's blocked by Troy Field, but this one's out of bounds.
Yeah, again, that good aggressiveness paying off for Drost. Troy kind of going up a little bit late, trying to bait Avery. Can't quite get his hands in position in time.
Yes, Phil.
Here comes Drost. Perfect platform by Bomgren. And the scoop by Drost, but he can't keep it in play. That was a nice pass. Tim Bomgren really focused. He's always been a very technical player.
Yeah, great platform. I mean, you can almost hear the slap of that perfect contact off of his arms, even up where we're sitting, Dane. That's one of my guilty pleasures, is people with perfect platforms that go together so tight that they just make that slap when you contact it right in the middle.
Yeah, passing is one of those skills you got to put hours and hours and reps, because every serve that's coming at you is pretty different.
Yeah.
Nice absorption by Troy Field. And looks like that ball's out of bounds. No complaints on that one.
Yep. Did everything right there except the execution on the swing. And he had the right idea. That's one of those ones you got to be able to shake off quickly, because there's no error in judgment there. There's no error in decision making. It's just kind of human error that's going to happen to everybody from time to time.
Phil continues to serve up 6-3, third set. Goes to that outside, the inside out, I should say, spot, and just missed that one by maybe an inch.
Yeah, he was testing it again, and that would have been another untouchable ace off the bat of Phil Dalhausser.
Back set by Drost. He's going to go to the corner. Nice control, nice finesse. Little baby jumbo, I guess you'd call that one.
Yeah, kind of flattened out the jumbo, but the court was wide open. Good vision. From Drost, you could see Timmy sliding over to that line shot.
7-4, Palm Beach Passion with the lead. Another solid pass. And just really liking that deception. And you know, I think Troy selling it with a big double arm lift, making it look like a hit. It's just really opened up that short shot right down the line for him.
Yeah, I love that word that you use there, deception. It really does look as though he's going to hit until the very last moment when he just wraps it up over the top.
And a shank ball to the net. Nothing Phil could do about it there.
Yeah, and that's a nice play by Timmy as well to kind of load up his arm in the event that it does come over to his side of the net. He can kind of tap it down, but stays clean. You can't get too aggressive and go over the net before it gets to your side.
Now there's a nice pass by Drost. Can he convert it? Yes. Cross court as Field released into that line. You like that defensive set?
I don't mind the defensive set, it's just the timing of it, right? I mean, you can't be standing on the line already. Players are just going to see that with relative ease.
And Drost did see it and execute it. If Palm Beach wins this one, both Palm Beach and LA would be 3-5 with 10-point tiebreaker. Palm Beach won head-to-head versus LA.
Man, that was a tremendous effort from Avery. Can't quite come up with the left-handed contact, but you love the turn and burn. In my mind, defense always starts with kind of unrelenting effort. You can put that in, good things start to happen in your favor.
This is kind of that crucial time, that middle of the season, right? Being in week number 4, you really need to establish yourself. So if the Palm Beach Passion can win, both the Palm Beach Passion and the LA Launch would be at 3-5. Still, I guess you'd say in striking distance. The Nitro at 7-1 have really established a solid lead.
Yeah, I mean, at 7-1, the Nitro would have to have kind of a catastrophic fall off to not make it to the championship, but certainly if you can get to 3-5 as the Passion, you give yourself a chance at least. I think it's still a little bit of an uphill battle probably, but at least, you know, I mean, if you go to 2-6, you're
in trouble.
Likely done. Yeah, you're not going to be a top 4 team, I don't think.
Almost getting the trickler there is Troy Field, coming up just a little bit short. He's disappointed with that. He's got to shake that off right now because this is anyone's game. 10-8 right now in the Passion with a slight 2-point edge. Just 5 points away. There's Big Phil in the Palm Beach Passion.
Come on.
Good set by Bomgren. There's that platform again. Really putting the ball up and over his shoulder at the net for Troy Field to just feast on.
Yeah, just that orientation, you see him there. He is just kind of square over his shoulder to where he wants to put that ball. Lays it up beautifully for Troy, and Troy going up and staying high and hard deep to the middle of the court.
Short serve here. Trying to take the approach out of Avery Drost. And Drost challenging right at, you know, he can challenge the block, but he needs to go higher because when you go low challenge, there's just no space.
Well, yeah, and you got to credit, like you said, that serve shortening his approach, right? Avery is a very physical player, but he kind of needs that long run up to generate all that momentum to go into his attack. Neutralize that a little bit with the short serve, and Troy with the great positioning on his block.
Good dig by Bomgren. Solid set and a little rainbow shot to the corner. Avery Drost frustrated with that one, but solid defense on the side of the LA launch.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great pickup from Timmy, and then kind of the fall away again, jumbo to the corner. He just kind of noodles that thing right up and over Phil.
7-3 run going on. Let's go down to Casey Patterson. I believe he's with the LA launch, the women.
Yeah, I'm with the ladies here because I can't fulfill my coaching responsibilities for Tim and Troy. The ladies are stepping in, and it's obviously working better. What are you guys doing to help them play so much better?
You know, all they need is a little energy. They're energy players, so we're just trying to give them some energy and reminding them when to take a timeout.
That's huge. That's a big part of being the coach. I'm glad because I couldn't do that very well. So I appreciate that helping me out. What do you guys think so far, Austin, Texas?
Oh, it's been amazing. This is my first time to Austin. The fans are electric. The venue's awesome. So super stoked to be here.
I love it. It's super fun. I'm stoked. Thank you for taking over. I feel much better with you guys coaching than me so far.
They are two very cerebral players, smart players, and great coaches. I know they've coached a lot of younger players as well. But the mind of Betsy Flint, she is one of those players that has a very high volleyball IQ.
Yeah, I mean, she's in the coaching game, obviously, over at Loyola Marymount, and working with a guy like Johnny Mayer. You're going to get a very intellectual viewpoint on our sport here.
Absolutely. Oh, there's Phil with another extremely sharp angle as they go to 11 all right now. It's a game to 4.
Yeah, it's a great pass from Avery. I kind of would have liked to see Tim do either a short or a deeper serve. Just kind of gave Avery a lollipop. He's able to roll that option ball up there with ease.
Shank pass by Troy Field. Can he get out of trouble? Yes, he can, with a little bit of finesse right there. What a great roll shot.
Yeah, great roll shot to finish it off, but a little bit of finesse, a little bit of good fortune as well, as that Shank pass sat in the bottom of the tape. Timmy gets underneath it, puts up a beauty.
Trickler there, Phil. Setting machine that he is, puts it in perfect position for his partner Drost to tie it up.
He's got maybe the most unique set of hands, I feel like, in the history of the game. It almost just seems like one motion as he gets to the ball, and then all of a sudden the set's in the air. The contact's so quick, so crisp, so clean.
And Phil set just about anything.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't matter how high it is. It's a 12 all. Phil trying to whip up an ace. That ball into the bottom of the net and make it 13-12. The LA launch now just 2 points away from the victory. And we've talked about all the success Phil Dalhausser has had here, winning his first event in Austin with his longtime buddy and partner Nick Lucena. He would not want to come here and go away without a win.
To your point, Phil setting anything, falling away, setting a beauty. That one I don't think is touched.
I know, but it's much better for you to win it. I know. Hey, we make mistakes. No, we make a little mistakes too.
13-13.
Wow, Troy Field trying to pull a fast one. Head referee said that went out of bounds after it went off you, and he said, yeah.
Well, I mean, but going back to the other one, that's kind of the honesty that we're dealing with in Troy, which is why, it's pretty easy to think that that wasn't touched by him before.
Right.
When at this point in the match, he's going to actually call his own touch.
Tough serve over to Bomgren. And look at this dig by Drost, but it is just out of reach from Phil Dalhausser.
Half defense, half self-preservation. That was a good contact, just can't quite get it in the zone that Phil can chase it down.
That was coming in hot right there.
Yeah, a little chin music for a Sunday afternoon.
Match point for the LA launch. Great soft block, just out of reach from Troy Field.
Again, that's a wonderful pass from Avery, but I just think the launch aren't doing enough with that serve to make him uncomfortable. Pull him in short. If he passes a good one for Phil to go on too, you get the same result, but at least do something to throw him off if he's got to be the one to attack against you.
Yeah, I agree. 14 all. Slow clap begins. Troy, that set's a little bit off the net. Nice hold by Drost. He's going to have a shot at this one. Yes, down the line for Avery Drost. Beautiful play right there.
Yeah, really good pickup. You know, it's, again, easy after the fact to say this, right? But I think you got to stay in that aggressive mindset. Not a great time if you're Troy to start going to shots.
Palm Beach Passion now at match point. Big serve by Phil. Handled well by Troy Field. And look at the dig. Drost's going to have a shot. He goes lefty and he gets it down. Avery Drost taking charge late in this one. And that's got to feel good.
Yeah, that is their first victory. Phil talked about it while their ladies were playing, but yeah, that gets them to that 3 and 5, gets them in a position where they can kind of control their own destiny in a way, trying to make it to that championship later in the year. There's that final play. Yeah, that's a great overhand dig. Yeah, a little bit of necessity for the left hand, but he manages to make it work and closes it out. Yeah, Melissa's happy with that.
Melissa Humana Paredes, her partner Brandy Wilkerson, also members of the Palm Beach Passion. They were victorious earlier today, and team's starting to come together. Drost, that seems like a load of bricks.
Yeah,
taken off of his shoulders. Let's hear from the winners. Let's go down to the sand to Mark Sherman.
Wow, what a finish. 3 straight points by the Palm Beach Passion to get the end and the win in the end. And a couple of big digs by you right at the end of the match. You face match points, you get the side out, you got to lock it in. Talk about those last 2 points, Avery.
Well, first of all, Tim and Troy played such a great game. Those guys are so good, and they're friends of mine, and a lot of respect to those guys. They're awesome, great players, great people. You know, Phil is an incredible point scorer. And I kept thinking, I'm going to have to make a play here to try and help our team score a point. And, you know, I've been working as hard as I can, really all the time, trying to make good on this opportunity and to come through for my partner and the people who love me. And I'm just so happy to be doing this and to get a chance to make a play for my team. So.
Well, you did, man. You made a couple big plays at the opportune time, Avery, to get the win in the end. Philip, one of the favorites everywhere you go around the world. Even here, maybe even last night, a bit of a hostile crowd, but you know they love you. You came out firing in this one big time from the service line. Talk about that, coming back out here needing to get the win on day 2.
We needed a W so bad. We were 0-3 coming into this one, and we lost a tough one last night. But Austin's always had a special spot in my heart. I won my first pro tournament here, 2005, and man, I'll never forget it.
Wow, 19 years ago, won his first AVP here in 2005. Big welcome back for Phil, everybody, yes. I love it. Phil and Avery get their first win in a league, everybody. And the Palm Beach Passion improving to 3 and 5.
A heartfelt post-game interview there from Avery Drost. Really, you could tell that a relief to get that victory here today.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can kind of sense that pressure that comes along with playing with Phil, right? He goes, Phil's such an incredible point scorer that I felt like I had to do something to help our team out at the end.
Love it. The Palm Beach Passion, the men are victorious over the LA Launch. For Casey Patterson and Rich Lamborn, I'm Dane Bland. We'll see you soon.